Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it didn't take long until Bibi Lili Netanyahu, the new Prime Minister of Israel, jumped into the frenzy of Kanye West's statements. And he's not attacking Kanye West now because he was like, what the hell you want? This is just a clown, according to Mr. Netanyahu. He didn't say a clown, but he was like, you make me laugh or something like that. Anyway, why? Because probably he understands that Kanye West is a little fish and has no power. And he's not going to be heard of because they will prevent that. And there you have it. That's with that guy. But the problem is when you have Trump. So Mr. Bibi makes some statements that are not very positive to Mr. Trump. He criticizes Trump. So I'm going to tell you that Trump cannot be criticized in connection or in regards to any Israeli, how should I put it, issue. And I will tell you, he's got so many cards and he's covered. But let's see what this guy is saying. This article comes from Sputnik and it's from today, the 4th of December 2022. Israel's Netanyahu criticizes Trump for his dinner with Kanye West and Nick Fuentes. Now, I think this Nick Fuentes is considered to be a kind of supremacist guy, if you know what I mean. And I don't know, I never heard of him. I heard about others, but not of this guy. I look to see what he has to say, not what other people say about him, and make my own opinion and assessment of the guy. So his name is what? Fuentes? Nick Fuentes. Okay. Israeli Prime Minister's designated Benjamin Netanyahu has criticized former US President Donald Trump for his dinner with artist formerly known as Kanye West, and controversial political commentator Nick Fuentes. In late November, Trump said that he met with accompanied by an unknown guest of his residence at Mar-a-Lago. Some media outlets reported that the unknown guest was Fuentes, who has a history of making racist remarks, while others reported that he was not present at the Mar-a-Lago dinner with Ye. The rapper, he's a rapper, is not a mogul, he's not a artist, he's a rapper. Now, before he made some statements, he was the darling of these guys. Has also been accused of anti-Semitism, oh my God, for his comments about disproportionate Jewish representation in certain industries and for claiming that black people are the real Jews. Well, some people think that they are, over the opposite sex. But this guy thinks that the real Jews are black. All right, so which one is crazier? You tell me. Well, tomorrow I will say, well, you know what? I'm a tree tomorrow. Or any dog can come and pee at the tree. This is the society we live in. Anyway, but when asked by the NBC news anchor if his attitude to Trump changed following these reports, Netanyahu praised Trump for doing great things from Israel, such as recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital and endorsing Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, for which he remains appreciative. On this matter, I'm quoting, on Kanye West and that other unacceptable guest, I think it's not merely unacceptable, it's just wrong. And I hope he sees his way to staying out of it and condemning it, Netanyahu told NBC. Trump has been criticized for claiming the U.S. Jewish community was not grateful enough for his support of Israel during his time in office. Can people have an opinion, wrong as it is? But if wrong as it is considered by some, because what he says over there, well, the Jewish are not grateful for me doing a lot for them. Well, he doesn't understand a certain kind of mentality. What did you do for me today? That's a mentality. So jump. Trump did not do anything today, so he's past due a lot of things. Now, let's see. Netanyahu already mentioned two cards and of Trump that he's covered against this kind of attacks. Recognition of Golan Heights, which is... Should we check the United Nations Charter? Or no, we just let it slide this time. But we verify it and we check it for the Russians, right, and Ukrainians. Sovereignty and territories acquired by war. We know one thing or two around here. Anyway, maybe that's the mistake, but that we know just a little bit, Little knowledge is more dangerous than no knowledge. And I think we are in that spot with little knowledge. Poor us. But we got a big mouth, don't we? Or at least... Anyway, so those are two things. I can give you this. I know that Trump spoke in front of the APEC. You know what it is, right? American, Jewish, remember? Well, if you speak over there, you're all good. That means you got a kosher sign, you're good to go. Stamp, good to go. And besides, how can he have any, I'm talking about Trump, any negative opinions when his family is Jewish? Well, by alliance, you know what I mean. But nevertheless, Kushner, Jared, who was appointed as a senior Middle East advisor at the White House, just because he doesn't know shit, but he's, anyway, you know how things go. So see how many covers Trump has. So before you get to his heart, he has so many shields in front of that. Well, those shields can disappear overnight, but he's gonna, at least he's got about a few hours to withstand the stabbing in the shields. While these guys take a shield, another one, Jesus Christ, another one, Jesus Christ, before they get to the heart. So anyway, Netanyahu had to say certain things, and he said it. I don't think he has a problem with Trump whatsoever, because you know how it is. It's the public opinion that has to be formed, modeled in a certain way, and then he has to say, what do you think? Did you expect Netanyahu to say, well, I think Trump was cool, was okay being with Fuentes and yeah, you think so? I don't think he could have said that, right? And he had to say something because he was in an interview, unless he would have weaseled out, and again people say, hey, that was not an answer, Mr. Bibi. Anyway, cheers. All right. So this is it with Mr. Bibi Netanyahu, who had to say something, but nothing will happen to Trump. Why? Because Trump is going to make about 50 more statements that he might or might not believe in the next 3 minutes, and then he's going to be again building shields. But why do you need to build shields? If you have to build shields against something, that means that something is there. If you know what I mean. So then, maybe certain crazies that, claim this and claim that, you can look into it. It's great that we are still allowed to find information that is allowed to be there still. Remember George Orwell's 1984 novel, right? When it was that Ministry of Truth or something, where I think the main guy was working, where he was throwing historical stuff into a little thing that were disappearing. So they were erasing the past, and the new generation could not find, whatever they were finding, that was it. And you couldn't find anything else because everything else was burned. So then all your knowledge was that you could find. And I found that in Romania. They were not burning books in Romania when it was a socialist country led by a communist regime, but they were not publishing certain books. So if you want to find certain books, you had to find them like from the 40s, maybe 50s, and that's it, 30s. That were the books, and you had to go to old people that had the books. If you would go to a library, You had to dig deep, deep, deep to find those books, which usually they were not available because they were taken by someone else. Pff, I wonder who that was. Someone like me? Nah. Anyway, maybe. But I'm just saying that's how they erase it. And then you speak with an older person and you say, hey, I heard this, I learned in school. And I said, bullshit, you don't know anything. Let me tell you this. And I say, how in the hell you know this? Well, because there were books, there were people who wrote about this subject. And how come I can't find it? Because you're not supposed to find it. So that's how it's, you have to erase certain pieces of information in order to create a new vision, a new idea, a new conclusion on things. Now you have to ignore science here, but use science here whenever it's convenient. Well, that's not how reality and truth should work. That's why. Look for the truth, find it, and then you can be just with courage, right? Be strong. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, because you have to understand things. Look for the truth, find it, and be just. See ya.